thanks for tuning into this. We are going to be going over some of the questions that people have left in our Dropbox at lunch. And the main question was, what is challenging in relationships? So Wonder this year is really going to dive into how we can be the best versions of ourselves to benefit the people who are in our lives and also ourselves. So this is the beautiful Allison Garner. She is going to be one of our speakers on the Day of Wonder on November 16th. That is a Saturday. And I guess, what are we going to be discussing? What are you excited to talk about?
All of those questions and the answers that we got, it seemed like this really great opportunity to then take all of the information that we've gotten and throw it out and say, okay, so these are the questions that people are pondering. Is this hitting you too?
Mm-hmm.
And here's some of the answers, and some of the discussions that we're going to have around it, and gin up some enthusiasm for what we're going to be doing in November with Wonder 2019.
Love it. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, so for our next question, we have someone that was asking about how to create healthy space and or boundaries. Do you think boundaries exist in relationships?
Like help or good fences make good neighbors, something like that.
Right.
Yeah. They exist in mine, and I think in my life, boundaries have helped me to create healthy relationships with people, especially with people that I really struggled with. People in my family, right? You're going to have them in your life forever, and they may not be the kind of people you would hang out with otherwise. And so how do you create relationships with those kinds of people in a way that you don't dread being around them and you might actually find a way to enjoy them? So I think boundaries are really great. I don't know how else to say it. People don't always catch it. But boundaries are for me. So if I create a boundary, it isn't for you. Like if you behave badly, let's say you snort cocaine every time we're together, and I don't like to be around you when you're snorting cocaine. So the boundary that I build isn't that like, you don't snort cocaine around me. The boundary is when Jenna snorts cocaine, I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
So the boundary is for me. I'm not going to tolerate that anymore because I don't like who I am. Or I don't like who she is when she does that.
Because that could cause something within the relationship and the harmony of yourself, which could therefore make you, if I was doing that, which would make you very unhealthy.
Right.
Or maybe even travel down a path that isn't desired for you and is more destructive.
Yep.
So,
and it means that I don't necessarily have to throw you away.
Yeah.
I don't have to divorce you. I don't have to have a friend with divorce. She doesn't do cocaine, by the way. It's probably not a good example. But it was like an incredible thing to say, so it makes sense with the boundary, that it allows me to continue to have him in my life in ways that work for both of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like that too. And I do think that there is healthy space, even in really close friendships and romantic relationships. There needs to be a part that you are still an individual, and that you are still Allison and I am still Jenna, and we all have different pursuits in this life and these things that have been buried into our souls to run after. And I think those deeper relationships, you're going to find common ground, but also not losing focus of your main goals.
Yep.
And I think the right people will just encourage that in you too.
And we've got to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's okay to talk about it.
Right.
I don't like it when you leave the toilet seat up. It's okay. Are we gonna have a boundary there? Do I need to have a boundary? Or can I let that kind of stuff go?
Right, because you don't want to let things fester. Right. Because then that will also be very
Then I'll be the toilet seat, and then the shoes, and then the toothpaste, and then the dishwasher, and then it's now the rift is this big.
Right. And even if I really like this person, so I don't want to say this because it feels uncomfortable.
Oh.
Right. And then therefore it's that is going against my own healthy space, my own boundaries that I need to become more aware too. So.
Awesome.
Our next question is how to be open and trusting people. Trust is hard to give away. Trust is hard to give away, especially if someone has been burned in different areas of their life and maybe they don't want to give their full selves to whomever they're meeting, whatever relationship that they're trying to build, because there is this fear that pushes them away, and then they decide I'm just gonna divorce this friendship, I'm gonna break up with this person because I can't get any closer because this happened to me X amount of times. But every single situation is so different, and every single person is so unique. And that is just a really hard practice to be open and to trust the new people that come into your life, or even trusting people who maybe have hurt you, and then building back from that.
Yes. And so like building all future relationships based on your experience of past relationships, that's tough because not everybody is the same, number one. And number two, if it's like either you is or you ain't, right? Like there's only two choices. You're either in my life or you're out of my life, and there's no in between. Those are hard places for relationships to grow and to thrive. You know, being open and trusting, I think of people who are super confident and they know who they are and they know what their values are and they know like the person that they were born to be. They are open and they are trusting. It's almost like, it sounds counterintuitive, but I'm as open and as trusting as I am with myself. Which is like, well, wait a minute, what if you screw me? Well, what's interesting is like when I get to a certain place, you really can't.
Right.
You cannot hurt me necessarily, and you can't ruin my life because that's just not how I am in the world. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
It sounds kind of like a Buddhist thing, but
I really think that it's all about mindset though too.
Yeah.
Because you can choose to allow the hurt to really spin and downward spiral, and then all of a sudden you're like, I should have done this different, or I should have acted this way. And then sometimes it's literally just the way that life works. And that there's no explanation to it.
Right. And you can always own. You can always own. In every relationship, there you have ownership. You might not want it. You might not want to see it.
No.
But in every relationship, there is ownership. And when you can do that really well, I want to own that I didn't have a boundary. I want to own that I let you snort cocaine in my house all the time, Jenna. That's when you really start to get to a place where it's like, okay, now I can be open and I can trust, because when things go south, I know how to trust that, and I know how to navigate that relationship without having to like break up or be 100% on.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this. We're so excited to do this event with you on November 16th. And we just want the impact to really leave you feeling encouraged and challenged in some areas of your relationships too. Just to have a better mindset of how to go about hard conversations, or even to just better your relationship with yourself.
What I would love for everybody to know is that Wonder is for women only. So these are relationships that you'd like to either create, deepen, or repair. This could be a family member, this could be a coworker, this could be a friend. And the impact that we hope is that you're going to take a nice deep dive into yourself. You're going to take a deep dive into your relationship, and you're going to leave with a different perspective on relationships as a whole, as well as how you fit into those relationships. And you'll also have some tools and some strategies that you can use anytime.